up everybody? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here, and today I just wanted to do a little bit of a chit chat get ready with me. Now I should note, I'm not going to be doing my entire face on camera for you guys. I'm just going to be doing my eye look, because if I did my base with you guys, then I'd be sitting down here talking for like an hour, and I don't know if I'm confident enough to trim that into a decent length video. I'm gonna pop back in once I'm done with my base. Alright, so now that my base is done, it is time to get into the eye look. So for today's eye look, I'm going to be going into the James Charles palette. The first shade I'm going to be going into is this shade right here, and I'm going to pop that into my crease. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of chit chat with you guys. I am super excited because all of her gifts are packed and ready, or wrapped and ready. I don't know why I say packed. Except for one, I'm still waiting for her table to come in. I ordered it so long ago. It's like a table and chairs that matches with the kitchen that my mom got her. So I'm just waiting for that. It says it should be here between the 22nd and the 29th. And honestly, I mean, doesn't really matter when it comes, because, you know, she's a kid, she doesn't really get the whole Christmas thing soon, but I would still really like for it to come tomorrow or any day before Christmas so that she can have another thing to unwrap. But honestly, she's spoiled as it is, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, so for Christmas this year, we're going to, well, Christmas Eve, we're going to his aunt's house for a small, like, what is that called? White Santa thing. Is it White Santa? You know, the thing where like you get a random Secret Santa. I don't know what I was thinking of. Where you get one of the person's names in it and you have to buy them like a present without them knowing that you got them. So I got one of his younger cousins. I just got her some of her favorite chocolates and a Visa gift card because she really likes Aerie, but I didn't have time to go to Aerie, so I just got her a Visa one. I do really wonder who has me though, because I feel like that'll be very interesting. I know it's not Nick, obviously, because she made a rule that like we couldn't have people in the same household, so I know who he has, and it's the person who I have's older sister, so it's kind of funny. But so I wonder who has me and what they're gonna get me. They're usually pretty good at getting me gifts, which I mean obviously like doesn't really matter, but like I do really appreciate that they don't just get me like random crap. Like one year they got me a necklace, and then they got me a really nice cardigan and a scarf. And then for Christmas Day, we're just gonna be celebrating at my house, just me, Nick, my mom, and my grandma. Just cause, I don't know, I think it's special to spend it with like your close family. And we also spent last Christmas together, and I don't know, I think that it's fun. I don't know if that's gonna be our tradition. Like, I don't know if we're gonna be doing that every year, but I do, so far I really like doing it that way. Of course, they are only gonna be here for like a couple hours because they just want to see Elizabeth open up the presents and then maybe have some food and then head on out so that we can enjoy Christmas by ourselves, since it's our first Christmas like living on our own. I think it's gonna be a really good Christmas. It's weird, but so far I'm already super excited and I can't wait for Elizabeth to open up a present. I also forgot to mention, I ended up going in with this like nude looking shade and just buffed out all the blue. I go back in with that same blue and just try and deepen it up a little bit. But yeah, so that's Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And then the day after Christmas, we're going to be going to my dad's house and spending it with him. Just with him, his girlfriend, and my two sisters. And I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. They're very cute and very excited and cannot wait to give Elizabeth the gifts that they chose. And I can't wait to see them. Now I'm gonna go in with this shade, just a little bit darker, and I'm gonna focus that into the crease and outer corner. But yeah, I mean, so I guess Christmas isn't really too different for us, because I mean, we don't really celebrate with like a huge family. I mean, his aunt's house is definitely gonna have a lot less people than it normally does, but even then, like, I really like that, honestly. Not that like I mean, I don't really get social anxiety, at least not with them anymore because I'm so comfortable with them, but I still prefer it to be the smaller group, because when it's just the smaller group, it's all people that like I've hung out with more. Like I haven't hung out with any of them like one-on-one, but like I'm definitely more comfortable around some of them than I am others. So I really appreciate that I'm gonna be able to do that. So that's pretty much it for our Christmas plans. And then after Christmas is Nick's birthday, which, I mean, as of now, we don't have anything planned. I believe his birthday's on like a Wednesday or something this year, so we won't be able to do anything like on his actual birthday anyway. I mean, maybe he'll go out for like drinks or whatever with his friends, but for me and him to celebrate, it'll probably have to wait until either the Tuesday before his birthday or just the weekend after, because Tuesdays Elizabeth is with her aunts at a play date. So it would just make it easier for us to just go out after work, but it's his birthday, so if he's tired or whatever, for whatever reason, I mean, we can just postpone it. It doesn't really matter. I just want him to enjoy his day. He's gonna be 25, so we can finally, I mean, not that we need to, but we can finally rent a car without having to deal with the like fees and stuff. There's this one freaking hair. Okay. We can finally rent a car without all those crazy stupid fees. I mean, because we are going on a trip in January where we will most likely be renting a car. I'm just not sure exactly, like, I don't know if the laws are any different about age there. I mean, he could already be able to rent a car there without an extra fee, but it's just nice to think about, you know? But yeah, so on the topic of like the vacation, yeah, we're going on one late January, and I'm super excited for it. I'm gonna see some of my family that I've never gotten to see before. I'm going to, more importantly, I'm gonna be visiting my country, which I've never been to before. And I don't know, I just really want to be able to explore my culture, and like, because I feel, I mean, I'm sure a lot of like American Puerto Ricans, I mean, Puerto Rico is technically a US territory, but if you were a Puerto Rican who was born in America, I'm sure a lot of us feel the same way. Like, if you haven't been to Puerto Rico, it's kind of like, you know, you're Puerto Rican, you eat the food because like your parents or grandparents or whatever cook it for you, but like you don't really know what it's like, or at least that's how I feel. Like, I feel like I'm disconnected. I feel like I don't really know what it's like to be Puerto Rican. And I mean, even just visiting like this for this trip, I still don't know if I'm gonna fully grasp what it's really like, but I think it's definitely gonna give me some better insight on what it's like to live there. Because I know it's definitely a lot different than it is here. My grandma used to go every single year, and for whatever reason, never took me. Thanks, Lela. But I don't know. So she's told me stories and like things that like if I were to ever visit, things to look out for, and like what kind of like bugs or whatever are going around. And so like I kind of like, I know what it's like, but I don't know. I've never experienced it. But yeah, like not even just for me, like I want Elizabeth to be able to experience her culture as well. I mean, she's half Puerto Rican. I want her to know and be proud of the fact that she's Puerto Rican. I don't want her to feel like she has to hide that or feel like it's weird or, you know, whatever feelings that like I'm sure some mixed, I mean, I'm personally not mixed, but I know that there are some mixed kids who kind of feel like they don't exactly fit one box, but they still don't fit the other, so they just kind of feel lost, and I don't want her to ever have that feeling. So I mean, obviously she's not gonna remember this trip, but this is not gonna be our last trip to Puerto Rico. I wanna go as many times as possible, and I want her to be able to experience it as much as possible. All right, I'm gonna go into a little bit of the black shade. Very, very lightly, I'm gonna try and put that into the outer corner. I was gonna put blue out there, but I don't know, I'm feeling the black look. But yeah, and on the topic of like Elizabeth experiencing her culture, like I also want to take her to Ireland and to Italy. I mean, even Nick's obviously, well, I don't know if that's that obvious, but he's Italian and Irish and he's never been, so I think it'd be dope for him to experience it too. I mean, I don't know if he has that like deep desire to, like how I do with Puerto Rico, but I think it's still important to, even if it's not important to him, I think it's important to Elizabeth for the same reasons I said before. I just want her to know what her culture is, and all of them, not just one. Lastly, or I don't know if it's gonna be lastly, but I'm going to be going in with this shimmery shade and just put that into my inner corner and the inner lid crease. But, so yeah, I'm super excited for the trip. I'm super excited for Christmas. And I have one other thing going on in my life, but I just can't talk about that just yet. But I'm probably more excited for that than I am anything else. So once I am able to talk about it, you bet your behind I will. That's very dramatic. I don't mind it. Let's go ahead and do the same on the other side. I'm gonna try and use my left hand because it's kind of hard to do it with the opposite hand. And I'm gonna just like, I'm just going back and forth very lightly, trying to blend that into the black. For the lower lash line, I'm gonna go in with the medium shade. Actually, I'm gonna go in with black on this part, and I'm gonna fade into that blue. Or should I'm gonna do the blue first and then fade into the black. Yeah, sure. So let's go in with that first blue shade that I used. And then just dabble that on there. Doesn't need to be super intense or anything. And I'm gonna put that like just almost all the way. I'm gonna do the same to this side. Then I'm gonna go in with the black and fill it the rest of the way. And then kind of blend a little bit where it meets. Like that. I'm gonna blend it out a tiny, tiny, tiny bit with this like nude shade, like I've been doing with all the other colors. I just want to buff out the edges, but I don't want to like get rid of what's going on. So I'm trying to do it very lightly. Alrighty, so this is the finished look, a little bit more up close. I use the same color I used for the inner corner on my nose and cheekbones. And I really like how this look came out. I'm glad that I decided to put the black in there. I didn't like overdo it with the black, which is usually my fear and is why I don't ever touch black usually when I'm doing my eyes, but I don't know, I'm glad that I did. So if you guys like this Get Ready With Me, then please go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel. It would mean a lot to me, and yeah, stay tuned for the next one. Bye guys.